What's up, everybody, man? Some of y'all might know me, some of y'all may not. My name is Quan. I am in the real estate market here in Rochester, New York, which I think is the best. Those who've been supporting, I really appreciate y'all. But this clip here is from a woman that I met online named Niner that does real estate as well in Rochester. And she offered to speak at my real estate summit that I have for my birthday here, May 2nd, 2026. Super grateful for you, Niner. I'm gonna critique a few things. Not even critique. I don't even think that's the word. I'm gonna react to a few things that you said and give my perspective of it. As always, I appreciate you. And y'all, look, man, this is Niner Davis. If you don't know her, get in tune with her, all right?
FHA approval, and I would not be able to get it to pass an appraisal, right? So I used a private lender, bought the house for 145, paid him a mortgage for a year, and then went to the bank and got my own mortgage, conventional, 5% down, good terms, and then put it in my name, right? And paid him off, and even walked away with an extra 30K, right? So that was amazing. That's a way to build equity. Your home is a way to make you money. Don't see, I know you said you don't like single family homes, right? I know you said.
Hey, she was talking about me because at the time I'm like, yo, if you get a duplex, it's gonna be way better than getting a single family home. Yeah, over time the property value may increase, which it most likely will. But if you get a duplex and your mortgage is 1,500 and then one unit pay 1,500 and you damn near live for free, most people most expensive bill in their household is their rent slash mortgage. So that's why I said that. But yeah, you do get to build equity when you own a property most times.
I was sitting back there like, single family homes can make you money too, right? You buy a home right now and say you pay 150 for it. In 3 years in Rochester, that home will be worth 200K easy. And most people, when we buy houses that we're living in, we put money into it. Everything you put into your house, you're gonna get back. That's what I love about real estate. You literally get what you put into real estate. That's what
She ain't never lied. She being 100% transparent. Like I can't say that I've lost any money in real estate. I could pretty much say that I've broke even sometimes, but I've never lost in real estate. And I think this is why I keep choosing the entrepreneur journey, because this like is a way that I've never lost. You feel me?
I've learned from real estate. You get what you put into it. So if you buy a house and you give it your all, right? You fix it up, you make your deck nice because you like to entertain, you do all those things, that's gonna be someone else is gonna see value in that. The market sees value in that, right? There's key things, there's easy things like paint, flooring, right? Cosmetic. Then there's mechanical things like furnace, roof, windows, like those things are important as well, right? I bought my house for 145 in 2021. It's appraised at 365 right now.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I haven't watched this since I got the film from the videographer, but she just snapped. Hold on, let me see.
Like furnace, roof, windows, like those things are important as well, right? I bought my house for 145 in 2021. It's appraised at 365 right now.
5 years, that shit went up dinner 200K. Guess what? That shit'll be gone. I'm letting it go. But you got to go. All that equity, I'm telling you. Or refi it. I ain't gonna lie though. I be feeling like I gotta get the money out. And a rich dude told me too. He like, yo, I got a house that's worth like 220, 230 right now. He's like, yo, would you pay that? He said, how much you owe on that? I'm like, 110. He like, would you pay 220 for it? I said, nah. He said, well, then you need to sell that house. I said, why? He said, because if you wouldn't pay that for it, you got the asset to get the liquid up out of it. So that means you technically would pay for it. You got to know at first. I'm like, damn, what do you mean? But I had to think, because like some people not going to say things twice or explain it to you.
Yeah. Right? And I live in the city of Rochester. I do not live in the suburbs. I live on the border of the city. Still a city. I have to live in the city to get a planning commission. I still live in the city. That's what's important, is you understand that buying a house and building that equity gives you the power to borrow against it, right? So now you got a house with 100 grand in equity, you can go borrow 50K to start investing, right? You can go do a HELOC on it, get 50K and start investing, right? So it's also a way to start. So if you already own a home,
for those who don't know too, a HELOC is a home equity line of credit where you could basically borrow against the house because there's so much equity. You telling the bank like, yo, I only owe 100 on this house and it's worth 300 or something. They're going to give you like 75 to 80%, 70 to 80% loan to value. And let me do the math on that. She said her house worth I think 340 times 0.70. So basically that's 238 and she only owe 100, so that's 138K in equity, and they'd give her that for the equity in her house, and then that's what you could use to invest.
Like, oh, there's no grants for me because I already own a home. Let me say this. You are a first-time home buyer if you have not been on the deed of a home in the past 3 years. Right? That means like you could have had your grandmother's house, right, deeded to you, and have sold it 5 years ago and be like, I already owned a house, Niner. Doesn't mean anything. As long as you have not been on a deed in the past 3 years, you're considered a first-time home buyer.
What I got to check into is because I got houses, but they all under my LLC. I'm trying to get that first-time home buyer grant. I'm not even going to lie to you. I need that first-time home buyer grant. I don't want to pay out of pocket. Like, I'm not prideful. I'll use that.
So that means you can utilize those grants, right? So keep that in mind. There's a lot of little loopholes and things like that. A lot of people say like, oh, you can't use grants to buy investment property. Well, if you're gonna live in one of those units, the RG&E is gonna be in your name, right? You're gonna live in that unit.
Hey, yo, she basically telling y'all that they tell you gotta stay there for 5 years or so. But what happens is, if you got RG&E in your name, they not coming out to really check. Now, I ain't trying to bug nobody up. In banks, people are not doing this. This is not something that people doing. She's just saying.
You can use that to buy an investment property. Even if you're living there, it's still an investment because you have 2 or 3 other units, right? So understanding the system is what's important to me. Right. That's what I focus on in my career. I understand the system and I learn how to make it work for me and my clients.
Got to.
Right? We can't get rid of the system. It exists. It's not going anywhere. That's what I say in politics. That's what I say in the community. We just have to understand the system and learn how to make it work for us. And that's what I do for myself. That's what I do for my clients. That's what I do for my people.
I'm going to be honest with you. That's so dope she said that because, like, don't be trying to reinvent the wheel. Make the wheel work for you, though. You feel me? Like, I always tell people that this shit starts with a mindset change. You got to change your mindset first. Then everything else going to flow. You're going to be all right.
As far as the City Planning Commission goes, I think it's really important that we start taking a look at things that are happening in our city and how things are playing out, right? What's coming up? What neighborhoods are they investing in, right? I'm gonna give you a key right here. The public market, right? We all know where the public market's at, right? Not one of the best neighborhoods in our community at all, right? There's over $4 million of funding going in there in the next 5 years, right? So that means that neighborhood is up and coming. So right now you can get properties for under 50K in that neighborhood, right? You buy a property right now surrounding the public market for under 50K, put 30 grand into it to bring it up to living quality, hold it for a couple years, right? Rent it out, Airbnb it. Everybody loves Airbnb. Airbnb it, whatever. Just sit on it for 2 years. I promise you, in 2 years, that house you spent 80K investment on will be worth over $250,000. Another thing to remember is that
I got a house over there right now in that same area that she's speaking of, but I will say that I'm getting rid of it now. I don't got time to deal with how the tenants be moving over there. You know, only a certain type of person gonna want to live in that area. No disrespect at all, but like people that's really making money, they got money to go live elsewhere. You feel me? So I'm getting rid of mine. I paid $27 for it. I'm in like $55K. Shit, you know, it's time to just part ways.
When banks are lending you based on the value of your property, so if you're thinking, okay, I want to buy this house and then I'm going to buy it cash, right? I'm going to buy it cash, put some money into it, and I'm going to go to the bank and say, hey, it appraises now that I fixed it up. I bought it for 50K, put 30 grand into it. Now it appraises at 150, I want 80% of that, right? They'll give you 80%, and that's kind of like you putting a mortgage on the house, right? There's terms, but I like to use like lame terms so that way people can understand what I'm talking about, right? So then you go put a mortgage on the house, you take that 80K, make sure you reinvest the 80K so you don't have to pay capital gains tax, right? So you don't have to pay as much capital gains tax. So you reinvest that 80K to continue to invest, right? Banks don't value a property only based on what it looks like and where it's at. If it makes money, they use that when they're valuing the property as well. So if this is a 2-family and you have it rented out at $1,200 a unit, right? That's $2,400 a month. If that's a 2-family, you're making $2,400 a month on it. They use that number to help value the property, right? So you got to know the ins and outs of it. And there's a lot of information that we all could stand up here.
That's asset-based lending, y'all. I'm telling you, if you got a property and it's doing numbers, you got equity, you got value.
And give you guys. But I think the key thing is to understand that we're all in this room for a reason. We all support Quan for a reason. And it's because we want to learn, we want to grow, and we're all here to help each other. Like you said, nobody's gatekeeping. Thank you for allowing us to have this platform to be able to talk to people and share information. But I think that's what I got.
I'm gonna clap for you again, Nina, girl. You go, girl. This event was so dope, man. I ain't gonna lie. Like, she really blessed the room. You feel me? Like, no racist, nothing, like no colorist type vibes, but to have an African American woman, not saying that, you know, it's rare, but I'm just saying, like, that's dope. You know what I mean? It's other, you know, women of color in the community that look up to that type of stuff. And I appreciate you, Niner, for coming through, because you didn't have to do that. I am going to do this again, and I feel like y'all don't need to miss this. If you do, you goofy as hell. But listen, I'm going to keep dropping these, man. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Always grateful for y'all, man. We'll catch up later, though. You heard?